All right, welcome back to AutoCrit's YouTube channel. My name is Becca Brinkmeyer, and I am one of our author coaches here at AutoCrit. I also have the honor of being the coach of Team Plancer for our Novel 90 Writing Challenge. And today I have a guest, and I would like her to introduce herself. This is part of our series profiling the winners of the Fall Novel 90 Writing Challenge. So we are so excited to welcome you. Without further ado, I would love if you would like to introduce yourself to our audience.
Hi, I'm J.A. Manier, or just J is fine. I've been writing since 2019, so not very long, and published my first book. It released in 2021.
Fantastic. So great to hear. Now, if you want to tell me a little bit about your story, what is it about this Novel 90 story that really drew you?
Doing the Novel 90 Challenge. Well, like I said, I published the first book in 2021. I was super excited, like somebody actually wanted to read my book. They wanted to publish it. It was really awesome. Once they got published, I started looking at it and I'm like, I wasn't satisfied with what I had. And so I was looking through the internet trying to find like some classes, just some things to help me kind of improve. And I found AutoCrit. And man, the stuff that Daniel did when I first started on there, oh my gosh, he is just amazing. And so I had already started the second book not too long after 2021 release. And then after finding AutoCrit, I changed my writing style so much. I improved like between the classes and the product that they have, just amazing. And so I ended up kind of doing the contests. There were so many different contests that they had. And so I kind of put the book on the back burner and just did the contest, got the short list on a couple of them. And then when the Novel 90 thing came up, I was like, all right, maybe this is the thing to put some fire under me. Which some of the contests I actually used them to do parts of the book.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they'd like, oh, we're going to do this section, and so I would write that, and I'd use the book as my thing. But yeah, the Novel 90, I just got down to it, and having the competition and the guidance and all the tools from AutoCrit has just been amazing.
Oh, we love to hear that. I know that is actually how we recommend for a lot of our participants in the different writing challenges that we offer, is that there's no rule that says that you have to be working on something completely new for each one. I know that we have folks that just wrapped up our character challenge that are using that to fuel, kind of flesh out their character that they want to build into the short story challenge, which is coming up in May. So it is exciting when all of those pieces just kind of work together. So I would love to know, and I know that everyone is always curious about this. We all have different writing styles, and I would love to know if you just want to walk us through what a typical writing session looks like for you and your process.
Oh, yeah. Well, see the background? Crazy, sparkly mess. Like, I am definitely a pantser. I would love to be a plancer. I try. Once in a while, I plan things. I never look at them again, but I do plan them once in a while. I'm actually doing the character challenge and for the current novel that I'm writing. And I was going to do my antagonist with it. And then I was like, oh, let's just put the protagonist in there. And I ended up like, oh, hey, that is really good. Let me work out a few more things out of that. It helped me, like, you know, my story. There's some spots that are a little slow. And so it's definitely a mess and a learning process and very messy. And then I go back and then I go, oh, okay, let's see if I can put this somewhere into a pattern and make sure I've got all the pieces to actually make a story. Is it fast enough?
You know, I feel that as a pantser as well, though. I used to be a pantser until I started writing as much as I do, and I moved to full time. Is that I needed to have at least some direction to my chaos, but there's just something about that puzzle piece part when you are a true discovery writer and you get to just write. And you know that it'll come together at the end, or you'll be able to fit it together. But there's that just immense creative freedom that comes from just like, my story is going to tell itself.
And it does.
Yep.
It's like, okay, let's meet the character. Who is she? I have no idea. We're going to find out right now.
I feel that. So as a pantser, you had Coach Catherine as your team lead for Novel 90. She will be coming back for Novel 90 Summer this year as the coach of Team Pantser. Excuse me. I am Pantser. She is Pantser. There we go. Would you say that your creative process, being a discovery writer, has kind of evolved when you're looking at writing from shorter works to novels? How has that evolved for you?
Definitely the writing some of the shorter things, which I never was really that much of a writer. I mean, when I was younger, little kid, I wrote. I actually, in like second grade, I got published, and they had some like little, they had some little like, was it the bookmobile or some kind of deal, and everyone in the school had to write a story, and I was the second grade winner. But in between that, I really didn't write that much. And then when I did, I sat down and wrote like, what, 160,000 word novel. So going back and finding AutoCrit and doing those smaller short stories is definitely helping to kind of, one, I'm wordy, boil it down and get those parts, and you see the structure in it and see how you get, beginning, middle, and end, but you can use a little less messy middle with the short story, and it helps you to get the point across. And then it's helped my novels to grow too, and to be a little more organized, which is usually at the end. I go back and go, oh, where was that? Oh gosh, that should go.
Oh my goodness, I feel that. I used to be the person who's, I was like, oh, I hit 45,000 words, I can end the book. Now I'm at like 120,000 words. I'm like, we are just getting started, friends. Let's go on an adventure. So I know I do not lack for words in my book, but one of the things that I love about AutoCrit is being able to use some of our tools to kind of fine tune which words I'm using and whether I'm using them to maximum impact.
Yes.
I have a favorite report. I don't know if you do, but of our line editing reports, I am a big fan of our tense consistency report, because
that's the one I was going to say. And I found it like recently that at first when I looked at it, it just had I, they, their, whatever it was. And I went through those. And then at the top, I noticed, hey, there's another check mark, and it does ED and ING.
Yeah.
And I went through the whole novel, and I'm like, I have a tendency to go past tense. And it's like I want my action portions to be present tense. The storytelling part, if they're, hey, they did this or whatever, I'm sure I want it past tense. But I went through, and oh my gosh, there were so many things I found. And it makes it so much easier and faster. I mean, you can do a chapter in a half hour. Well, me, I'm slow, but
no, it's been a game changer, because I don't even know that I'm doing it sometimes. I switch between present and past for different projects. And so my brain is just happily trucking along, writing my book, and then I get it, and my editor is like, what did you do? Sorry about that. But being able to have those kinds of tools and just be able to run it. And like you said, I can go chapter by chapter. I can sit down if I've got enough coffee. I can sit down and just do the whole thing and be able to make it so much cleaner. And then for me, it's a great exercise in craft as well, because I have to physically go in and change those. I have to make a decision for each instance. Is it correct? Do I need to change it? And doing so is that practice portion, right? It kind of ingrains it into the muscle memory of, I have noticed over the years that, of course, my instances, well, they are still there because it's like a mental block. It's becoming less because I am gotten into the practice of reading, changing. And I think that that manual changing is actually really important when it comes to the editing process.
Yeah, I found that that's, I think, probably what's improved me the most. Like I said, the classes that Daniel did were just crazy amazing. And you guys are doing great classes. But I think I've also improved a lot just by the tools that you guys have. Because you go in and you start doing those changes and the checks, and it's like, okay, well, what did I do here? And after you've done them so many times, the next time you go to write something, it's like, oh, wait, I changed that real quick. Or after a while, you stop doing that particular thing altogether. So yeah, it's definitely a really exciting tool. And of course, I talked my sister into it.
Yay!
She's also an author. And she's got another book coming out here soon too.
Oh, wonderful. Yes, what can I say? When you get it, you get it. And then I'm constantly bringing people in. I'm like, this could make your life easier. Come over to the AutoCrit side. And it's been so fun too to watch different people. As you know, I coach for our challenges, but also our Story Success Lab and a few other things. And then I seem to be on camera every day for AutoCrit of late. So I'm teaching, I'm doing all of these things. So I get to interact with our members. And we have so many people at different stages of their writing journey. We have folks that are still working on finishing that first book. We have people still working on their idea. And we have people that are so prolific that they're just churning books out. And I think that's just something that's really cool about our community. And one of the communities that we created through Novel 90 was through this team-based environment. So did you attend many of the team-based events that we held during Novel 90 last fall?
I did a few. I didn't get to do all of them, but I did a few. And it's so helpful. Like just going in and just chatting in the thing. And I hide from the camera. I do my pen name, and so nobody sees my face normally. But just being able to go into the chat and like meet all these people and where they're at, and oh, I know your story is coming along, and there's a couple people that were in the challenge and was like, oh, you're at this part of your story, yeah, I'm at that part too, or how is that going, did you change it yet? Or it was exciting and encouraging.
Absolutely. I think that writing can, as someone who's a full-time writer, writing can feel super lonely. And I think a lot of us are a little, I'm an extrovert, but I'm also like a solitary extrovert. If that even makes sense? Like I like groups of people, put me in, coach. I will talk to anyone. But I cherish my time where it's just me and my story. I don't have a lifestyle that allows me to have that kind of quiet time very often, but being able to just immerse yourself in your story, and you can lose, I lose hours. If I'm in the zone, I'll forget to eat. I will just be in my story. And yet at the same time, having that community, having when you're struggling with the murky middle, and you're like, I don't know where this story is going. I know it needs to go somewhere, but it's like smacking your head against a wall. You're like, I am stuck. So being able to come into one of these events and put that in the chat, I am stuck, and then all of a sudden get all of that external validation when 50 other people are like, me too. I watch so many breakthroughs happen in the chat or in some of those writing sprints. I'm a big proponent of writing sprints here at AutoCrit. Did you come to any of the sprints last year?
I did, yeah. I like the writing sprints. Sometimes it just to go into any of those, like the writing sprint or even a class where I'm like, I'm in the middle of writing. I'm not stopping to like actually go to the class, but I'll turn the class on anyway and work on it. And just hearing some of the things that were going on, and it's like, oh, you know what? That's where I was stuck. Let me go back over there. Okay, I got it now.
See, that's what I love, because I wrote, our coaches also wrote during this challenge as well. We obviously were not entered to win anything. We are not part of the competition, but being able to write my book alongside the rest of my team and the rest of the competition, it's got such great energy. I was trying to explain this to someone else. I'm like, I don't know how else to say it, but the vibes are just great because we're working as a writing style team, but we're all working on individual projects. We have different goals. We had people writing nonfiction, fiction, every genre and genre mashup that you could think of. We had someone writing that, and it was just such a great community, because that is something I think we need more of in this world, is creative community. So with that, I am going to ask you a personal question. So and I will also answer this after you answer it too. So what keeps you personally motivated and passionate about being creative or writing in general?
Really the creation part of it. Just to, you get like one little spark of an idea, especially being a pantser.
Mm-hmm.
You get that little spark of an idea. So you start to type something, and as you go, it just evolves and it grows and it turns into all kind of, probably nothing near what the original idea was, but just to get first the creative process, and then at the end to look back at it and go, oh my gosh, like I put that together. And, and I had, like I said, I was not satisfied with my first novel, but it is out there, it's in print. And one of my friends called me the other day that, of course, I had like, hey, please read my book. She never did do a review, but anyway, she's still my friend. She called me and she goes, I just wanted to ask you if your other book is coming out yet, because my 16-year-old grandson stole my book. She said she had not even noticed that he found it, stole the copy of the book, read it, and then came back to her and said, I love this author. Is there anything else by her? I'm like, oh my gosh, that is so cool.
I love that.
That is what it's all about, I guess. It's very exciting. So,
I agree. So I've talked a lot about what my professional writing career looks like when I do AutoCrit Lives. That's part of what each of our coaches are. We're all best-selling authors. We're all working writers, and we all write different genres and have different ways of approaching this business. But I've shared a lot that I am a ghostwriter as well as a writer of too many pen names. And one of the things that keeps me going is not just the storytelling part. I truly believe I will never actually be happy if I'm not telling a story in some manner of speaking. I have that kind of storyteller instinct. I think it's just, I've done it ever since I was a kid. I was always making books and telling and writing stories. Like that was my favorite thing. But for me, it is similar. It's seeing the impact that sometimes I write silly stories, and that's fine. I love writing a good rom-com. I love writing kind of ridiculous, snarky humor. I love writing all of those kinds of things. And then I get notes from people who read my book, and I keep them. Sometimes they mail them to me. Sometimes I get them via, DMs and things like that. And I actually screenshot them and I print them and I save them in a folder, because there are days where you're just in the thick of it and you're like, what am I doing with this book? What am I doing? I should just stop. And then I open my folder and I look at that and I see, hey, I had a really difficult postpartum period, and your ridiculous book with these characters made me laugh so hard that I snort cried and woke up my baby. Thank you for that. I'm like, or you are the reason why I was late to work today, because I didn't sleep, because I had to binge read, this trilogy over the course of a day and a half, and no regrets. Like that's what keeps me going. Because I think the greatest gift anyone can give us is their time, and being able to make their life just a little bit brighter, or give them that laugh, snort, weird noise that we all make when we read something ridiculous. I think that's really cool that I get to do that for a job, and I get to tell the ridiculous stories that live in my brain. And for me, I couldn't imagine doing anything else at this point. I even had my alumni office for grad school call me the other day, and they're like, "What are you doing with your MBA?" I was like, I am writing hockey smut and thriving. I don't know if they're going to put that on the website, but maybe they should. So with this, I am going to ask you 2 more questions, and then we're going to talk a little bit about where we can find your work. And I know that there will be links posted so that if you want to follow Jay, you'll be able to do so. But what comes next? I know you're working on a couple projects, but what comes next for you?
Well, my next project is, I haven't completely found the name for it. So far, it's looking like Shifting Careers, Grand Sasson's Book 1, or Grand Sasson's Ledger. So basically, Grandma has a new job. She's an assassin.
I'm already fascinated. Like, tell me more.
So, and the reason why it's Shifting Careers, spoiler alert, yes, there will be shifter. So that's my current project, and I'm hoping to. I put that as my character challenge for this recent challenge that you guys have. So I'm working on Victoria Jager. Vic is my protagonist in the story, and so I'm hoping that I'll have it done by the time by October. So and enter it in the novel 90 or novella 90, I guess is the summer one.
Yep.
So yeah, it's exciting. It's a different one. The first, the other books, the other 2, both are science fiction, which this one is still science fiction. I guess I got kind of go medical science fiction. There's always a reason why they have a superpower or shapeshifter or whatever, and this one's the same, or same, but different genre. An older person.
I am so intrigued by this, and I am so excited because everything about this, I was like, oh, I want it now. So yeah,
it's gonna be a different one. Yes, it's a 60-year-old woman who is actually a firefighter and is the fire chief in a small town. And with government changes, they suddenly say that anyone over 59 they need to get rid of. Oh. And so she gets aged out of her job. And so she's like, okay, that's bad enough. But it's right after her town goes bankrupt, so her pension is gone. And then her town, since they are bankrupt, they're like, oh, let's be a 15-minute city. So then her land is getting sold off too. So she has no home, no job, no money. She was able to sell the house, but no money really. So she's like, oh, she's going to make a new life with her cousin, who's just a year younger than her, only to find out she's got cancer.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh, we gotta do something. And they end up with this, hey, we could do this experimental treatment by using your cousin's blood, which is very similar. You just have to go to Argentina and we'll do this. And so of course, when they get there, it's gonna be, mad scientists. And in the end, she's gonna be a shape-shifting assassin.
As one does. I am completely into this, so I cannot wait for this to hit the shelves. I want to read it. Oh my goodness. Well, it sounds like you have plenty to keep you busy right now, and we will see you in multiple challenges this year, which is so exciting. Yes. I think my final question is a pretty open-ended one, but it's just, is there anything else that you would like to share about your experience being part of the inaugural Novel 90?
Just that it was very exciting, very encouraging. Just having all those people along the side of you, like all doing the same thing that you are. Everybody's writing, everybody's in the middle of it. Little meet-ins in between going, oh, I'm at this part, or oh, I didn't get that far, or, just the little check-ins helped quite a bit. And then at the end, like, there were so many people that started that challenge. And then to be like, hey, you're on the short list. I mean, that just was crazy amazing to me. And then when you're going to announce the winners, I was like so nervous. I didn't say anything until like the last minute. And then I called my sister. Like I said, she's an author too. And I'm like, okay, get on here and see, like they're going to announce the winner. And then I was a winner. I was like, oh my gosh.
I love that you got to share that with your sister too. That is fantastic. Yeah. You're right. We had tens of thousands. Like it was a lot. And we are, we are excited to create this community. Of course, Novel 90 is 100% free to be a part of. We open up some of the AutoCrit tools to our challenge members. And, we have all of these different events that go on through this 90 days. It's very structured, but it also leaves you a lot of creative freedom to kind of complete it at your own pace. But we were so excited. We had so many entries, and it took our judging team a while to get through those. But being able to announce our shortlist, we were just so pleased. And then it was hard to select a winner, but we did select 3 fabulous winners from our different teams. And congratulations again for being our inaugural winner from Team Panther. And we can't wait to see what you do next.
Exciting.
It is exciting.
I'll be there for this one, and then book 3 will be for the October one. That's what I'll be working on then. So hopefully I can get both of those done this year. That's my next challenge that you guys have given me, to start doing more in a year and actually have, because my goal is 2 to 2.5 projects a year. Let's see.
I think that's so accessible, and I really think that you can do it. And we, of course, are here to help in whatever way we can. I know that we've talked a lot about marketing and selling your books and getting your books ready for publication, whether you're going the querying route or the self-publishing route. We have lots of resources for that. So we are just so excited to have you as part of our community. And thank you so much for coming on to talk to me about your book and about just where you're at as a writer. I will, as I said before, make sure that all of the links, if you want to follow Jay's work, the links will be in the bio of our video here. And we will, you will see Jay also on our blog. We have an interview there that will have some more links. So thank you again for being part of this interview and for being part of Novel 90 and our AutoCrit community.
Thank you. It was great. Thanks so much. Bye.
Fantastic.